So I've been thinking a lot about Canada's next AI strategy. And we have a lot of pride and excitement about Canada's role in artificial intelligence research, and that's with good reason. And our AI strategies have really been research-centric. They have their roots kind of in research. And where I'm feeling is a little bit around the commercialization beyond the research, right? Canada's story has never been about invention alone. It's been about what we build around the actual invention. We call this infrastructure, but what is the infrastructure that turns that potential, that innovation, into something that truly is nation building? So there's actually a couple of analogies that work really well here, but I like the telephone. So Alexander Graham Bell made his first telephone call from Brantford, Ontario to Paris, Ontario. But he didn't just prove that the technology worked and kind of hang up his hat on that one. Like, okay, there we go, it works. He sparked a project that would eventually string 200,000 kilometers of wire across North America. And so this is an example of, we didn't just invent something. We invented something and then we invented the whole industry around it. It's about how you get every home in Canada to have a telephone, not so we can tell them how to use the telephone or train them on the telephone. The telephone is not the point. The point was that they could do whatever they wanted with it. The infrastructure itself that we built is how we actually scale fairness. And so now we're standing at the edge of kind of this next major thing, this next grid, right? And this is what we're talking about when we talk about artificial intelligence. In AI is not just one product, it's a whole capability. It's a whole new layer of power that can run through absolutely every single industry. Healthcare, education, business, creative industries. And right now, we're really seeing that power is unevenly distributed. Strategies have been really kind of research-centric. And I'm not knocking that because we do need the research and we do need to stay competitive. But there's a whole layer of commercialization and market uptake that I do think that we need to focus on as Canadians. 95% of Canadian households now have access to high-speed internet, and that's fabulous. But in rural areas, that drops to about 78%. In many Indigenous and remote communities, that's still closer to half. Recent studies are showing that about 12% of Canadian businesses are using AI in their operations. That's among the absolute lowest in the OECD adoption rates. So we're producing world-class AI talent, but we haven't really built the infrastructure to keep the talent or to even really maximize the talent or to help every community benefit from the opportunity that the talent is created. So I'm thinking about our next kind of great nation building project. And, we have built tracks and we have built wires, but this great infrastructure, this digital infrastructure that needs to come next is really about broadband, data sovereignty, compute access, and training that lets every Canadian plug into the same source of intelligence. Invention doesn't create prosperity by itself, right? Access to innovation creates prosperity. Canada's next competitive advantage won't be from owning the biggest models. At least that's not what it's looking like. But, and I've said it before, Canadians are hella entrepreneurial. So I'm really considering what will happen if we make sure that the benefits of AI safely and responsibly reach every desk, classroom, and workshop in the country.